to Harmony Innovation Tarot. My name is Nomad, and I'm your host and reader today. Thank you for coming back. Okay, so now we have the Major Arcana number 2 card, the High Priestess. The High Priestess sits in front of a thin veil decorated with pomegranates. The veil represents the separate consciousness and subconscious realms, the seen and the unseen, that serves to keep casual onlookers out. Only the initiated may enter here. The pomegranates on the veil are a symbol of abundance, fertility, and the divine feminine, and are sacred to Persephone, who ate the pomegranate seed in the underworld and was forced to return every year. High Priestess. Stand 2 pillars marking the entrance to this sacred mystical temple, also associated with the Temple of Solomon. One pillar is black with the letter B, Boaz, meaning in his strength, and the other is white with the letter J, Jahin, meaning he will establish. The black and white colors of the pillars symbolize duality, masculine and feminine, darkness and light, stating that knowledge and acceptance of duality are required to enter this sacred space. Now the High Priestess wears a blue robe with a cross on her chest and a horn diadem or crown, both a symbol of her divine knowledge and her status as a divine ruler. On her lap, she holds a scroll with the letter Torah, signifying the greater law. It is partly covered, signifying that this sacred knowledge is both explicit and implicit. It will only be revealed when the student is ready to look beyond the material realm. The crescent moon at her feet symbolizes her connection with the divine feminine, her intuition and subconscious mind, and the natural cycles of the moon. So while the magician is the guardian of the conscious mind in the tangible world, the material world, the High Priestess is the guardian of the subconscious mind and the teacher of sacred knowledge and hidden mysteries. Sitting at the threshold of the consciousness and the subconscious mind, the High Priestess is an innate ability to travel between these two realms effortlessly. She teaches you that the world is not always as it seems, and more profound influences are often at play. She ushers you through the thin veil of awareness, offering you a deep, intuitive understanding of the universe and a heightened awareness of secret or hidden information. Your intuition sense right now is providing you with useful information, assisting you to become more in touch with your subconscious mind. Knowledge of how to fix these issues will not come through thinking and rationalizing, but rather by tapping in and trusting your intuition. So allow yourself the time and space to meditate and attend to your inner voice. Look for areas in your life that may be out of balance or lacking flow and ease. Now is also a time of heightened intuitive ability and psychic insight. If you're developing these skills, the High Priestess offers you further encouragement to continue your journey and trust that you're on the right path. The more you listen to your intuition, that inner voice, the more it will flow, and the more easily it will flow. Finally, the High Priestess is a signal that you are being called to embrace the divine feminine, your connection to your intuition, compassion, empathy, and inner wisdom. Regardless of your gender, it's vital for you to balance and integrate your masculine and feminine energies, and the presence of the High Priestess signals that your sacred feminine needs your attention right now. So feel rather than think, collaborate rather than compete, create rather than destroy. Trust your divine feminine energy, even if the masculine energy around you may appear to be stronger. Be proud of your ability to nurture, trust, sense, and empathize instead of hiding it away. Now, if you think of this number, number 2, Or if you pull a High Priestess card and you're thinking about career, work, and finances, a career reading, the High Priestess advises you to follow your gut instinct and your intuition, just like everything else. Sometimes we do not realize how much we know on an intuitive level, and while a professional environment often requires us to work from evidence, we can also draw upon our intuition foundation to make the right decisions. You may have a gut feeling about what needs to be done and how to resolve a work issue. Don't ignore it. If considering a career move, go with the path that feels most right for you. Now, I know a lot of people say that, but this is with regards to your deep inner subconscious intuitive urging that you want to identify with and go with it. As a highly intuitive and receptive individual, your career paths could include working as a counselor, psychic, spiritual advisor, teacher, or coach, or it may suit you to seek out a career as a consultant or practitioner in an area where you can use your highly developed perceptions and insights. Could also be a detective. Financially, the High Priestess encourages you to listen to your intuition once again, especially something that seems off. Something might look good on paper, but if your gut is telling you otherwise, you need to pay attention and dig further into whether it's the right opportunity for you. You may also need to keep your financial matters confidential and only share your information with those you trust. Well, you should do that all the time, but this card, if you pull it or pick number 2, is really urging you to pay attention to that feeling this time. For personality types, the High Priestess is calm, passive, and a patient person. She remains non-active, that is, consciously inactive, and often withdraws from environments and involvement with her outer world so that life can flow without her intervention. She trusts in the universe to take care of the unfolding events. She is also independent and self-sufficient. Solitude and silence are important to her, so she can connect with her spiritual source. She likes to be near water as it heals and rejuvenates the spirit and the body. And the High Priestess is highly intuitive, maybe even a psychic, or someone who is deeply connected to her inner self and subconscious mind. She is very easy to talk to because she is receptive and gentle. If your question has to do with relationships and love, the High Priestess reflects, once again, intuition and deeper knowledge. The arrival of this card in a relationship reading heralds an extraordinary connection between two people. This card represents a relationship guided by intuition where you both share a deep spiritual bond with one another and may even believe you are soulmates destined to share a life phase. You may also be open to exploring Tantra as a way of strengthening your spiritual bond and conscious awakening together. If you're single, you may enjoy this time alone to connect with your divine feminine. And if you're dating or discovering a new relationship, then this card asks you to trust your intuition about whether this new relationship is right for you. You will need to heed your inner voice to recognize the best path for you. Now, if you have to dig that deeply, perhaps the relationship is not good for you in the first place. Spiritually, the High Priestess is a sign of a heightened state of consciousness, conscious awareness, and enlightenment. You realize the power of your intuition and are seeking out ways to develop this skill even more. Be careful not to force your psychic development, though by trying to do all the things, instead allow this sacred knowledge to flow through you at its own pace. Finally, if your question has to do with well-being and health, which is quite common with the High Priestess, you are in tune with your body and mind and can sense when something is out of alignment with your health and well-being. Trust your intuition and follow your inner voice to guide you to where you need to focus your attention. If you sense that something is not right with your body, believe in your concerns and advocate for yourself. You may need to see a different healthcare practitioner, particularly if your current provider doesn't trust your instincts around your health. You know better than anyone about your health. mental or physical. You may find that you also connect better with a female practitioner or specialist. Who knows? Possible health issues may be infertility, menstrual issues, and other female health issues, but not necessarily. So a couple questions you might want to ask yourself is, what message does my inner voice have for me right now? How can I listen to and trust my inner intuition more? Or how can I more fully express and honor my divine feminine? And remember, this has nothing to do with sexuality. This has to do with gender, masculine and feminine energy. So just a quick review on the number 2 card, the High Priestess. Summary. So the energy surrounding the High Priestess is basically insight, clear perception, intuition, intuitive revelations, inner knowledge. And you may not know where the knowledge comes from. It just comes to you. That's the intuitive revelation, divine intervention. So what you want to do is be receptive to messages from your higher self. You might be keeping your emotions or knowledge to yourself until you feel safe to reveal it, whatever that is. The divine feminine, intuition, insight, psychic abilities, spiritual development, and mysteries of the mind. That's what this is all about. And prior to making a final decision or acting on anything in your situation, your current situation, careful consideration should be taken, especially focusing on that inner voice. In other words, it symbolizes wisdom, feminine energy, intuition, past, secrets perhaps, and definitely spirituality. This is a sign that inner development is taking place. So take time out to listen to your intuition and trust it. Be able to tell the difference between your egoic voice and your inner intuitive divine voice. Once again, this is Nomad. I'm your reader and host for this series of Major Arcana explanations. Please come back often. Like, subscribe, share if you please. That would be very nice. And we'll be continuing with the next card, which is the number 3, the Empress. Until next time, thank you for visiting Harmony Innovation Tarot, where everything is a hit.